Sasa ndio mzika.
Is Honorable DUALE, who's trading in Chakol, we're using the Kenyan military in Somalia. This is known. Madam Speaker, a terrorist cannot call innocent people terrorists.
Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, away from demonstration or mandamano, last week the President of the Republic of Kenya read some of the names that he nominated that are supposed to be vetted today, starting from today, to replace or for various CS cabinets that are vacant. There is something that is really going on. I really don't know. I really don't understand whether William Ruto, the president, is confused, or the people that are his advisors are sick, or what is really going on. Because the names that were read the president read last week, compared to the names that have been presented today to the parliament, are completely different. Now, before I get into this discussion, I want you to listen to what the Speaker of the National Assembly, that is Moses Wetangula, was saying. He read the names, and I want you to be very keen. When you listening to this, I want you to be very much keen on the names that the Speaker is reading, and then I come back so that we can talk about it. Listen to the Speaker.
Names of persons submitted to this House for approval for appointment as Cabinet Secretaries are as follows. Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Dr. Deborah Mulongo Barasa, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health. Honorable Alice Wahome, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Lands, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education. Honorable Rosalinda Soipan TUYA, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order. Honorable Rosalinda Soipan TUYA, AGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Defense. Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Order, honorable members. Order. Order. Honorable Aden Bare Duale, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Order. Order, honorable members. Order. 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 I shall not repeat. Order. Honorable Eric Murithi Muuga, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. Mr. Davis Chirchir, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Roads and Transport. Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu, Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Information, Communication and the Digital Economy. In view of the foregoing and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8 of the Public Appointments, order.
Now, right now, the names that are going to be, those names that have been read, that have been presented to the Speaker or to the Parliament, the names are less. If you are very keen, you realize that those names are not 11. Those names are 10. Now, amongst the 10 names, the Attorney General's name is missing. The nominate. And in that list, there are some of the names that have been swapped. I read for you the names. Maybe there is someone who have not read who have not listened to the names. I want you to listen to this. This is the stressing part that I want you to listen to. The names of persons submitted to this house for approval for appointment as cabinet secretaries are as follows. Nominee. Number 1, Honorable Professor Kithure Kindiki, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and National Administration. Number 2, Dr. Deborah Mlongo Barasa, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Health. Number 3, Honorable Alice Wahome, EG, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Land, Public Works, Housing and Urban Development. Number 4, Mr. Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education. Honorable Rosalinda Soipan TUYA, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Defense. Dr. Andrew Mwihia Karanja, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development. Honorable Aden Barazan Duale, EGH, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry. Mr. Eric Murithi Muuga, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. Number 9, Mr. David Chirchir, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Roads and Transport. Number 10, Dr. Margaret Nyambura Ndungu, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Information, Communication and Digital Economy. Those names are 10. In the previous list, now, if you're very keen, the Attorney General's name is missing. That is the Miano. In the previous list was giving us all the names. The thing that I want us to know here. The president is like, there is a very big problem with the president. Because at first, he dismisses these people. The second time, he nominates them. And then the third time, he swaps their dockets. Another question is, and there is also another thing here that I'm really failing to understand. What is going on between Aden Duale, Soipan TUYA, and William Samoei Ruto? And I asked this question, that are there no other people who can replace these people? Who can replace these guys? Don't we have other qualified young men and women outside here who can take these positions? Why must it be that, okay, the list that the president read publicly is different now from the list that now the speaker is also reading at the parliament? And there is something that Junet Mohamed have said. Junet Mohamed have said very well that let everybody be warned and let everybody know that the vetting of these appointed or these nominated CSS is not going to be as business as usual.
What you communicate is what is communicated, and that is what is final. But I'm not sure whether this list is the same one, Mr. Speaker. We cannot change your records in Parliament, but we are really in doubt whether this is the real one. But we shall wait. Mr. Speaker, having said that, Mr. Speaker, I want to speak on this matter and say this. Mr. Speaker, this time and this period in Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I want to tell members, my colleagues, that vetting of this CSS is not going to be business as usual. This time, Mr. Speaker, and this time, Mr. Speaker, I repeat for the third time, if somebody is not suitable, if somebody is not capable, if somebody doesn't have the capacity, we are going to throw him out, Mr. Speaker. We must do justice to Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, and we must do our work properly this time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I participated in the vetting of the last CSS, Mr. Speaker. We know what people told us in that vetting, and we know there are people who have come back. If your records of net worth is not colluding or is not balancing, Mr. Speaker, just know we will throw you out of the window, not even the door. Mr. Speaker, the responsibility of making sure who is suitable and who meets the requirement of becoming a CS is vested in this House, Mr. Speaker, through the Parliamentary Approval Act.
Honorable Junet,
I'm finishing, Mr. Speaker.
You are a member of the vetting committee.
Mr. Speaker, I'm concluding, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is this House that is going to make sure it is this House that is going to make sure, Mr. Speaker, Kenyans get value for their money. It is this House that is going to make sure, Mr. Speaker, if you know brothers and sisters who have been nominated, if you know you don't qualify, please leave early before you come to this House. This time we will put you in front of Kenyans bare, Mr. Speaker. Bare, naked bare, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Kenyans are tired. And Kenyans are saying that they don't mind anybody becoming a CS. They want to have CSS in offices, but they want to have the right people who are qualified, Mr. Speaker. And we are going to do our constitutional mandate, Mr. Speaker, to make sure, especially for those who are in offices before and who have been brought back, you will see what we are going to do to you people, Mr. Speaker. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I am prepared in the vetting committee to kutana na hiyo watu mundu kumundu.
Finish. There is something that I want to say. This issue of dismiss, nominate, swap the docket shows how critically or how confused the government is. Because the government cannot stand by itself. And I think right now, people like Kipchumba Murkomen and Moses Kuria are now at least they are now in that position whereby they have excused themselves. Like in short, they're in that position. They are out of that government embarrassment, because this one is government embarrassment. There is no way you can nominate someone and then reshuffle at the same time without telling anybody. And then when the lists are being read, you are telling us that you are not even telling us anything. And in fact, the names are less. What does that one show? That one shows that you are not even sure with what you're doing. These names were read in a hurry. There was no proper consultation and there was no proper consideration. And therefore, according to me, what I think is that before this, just like Junet Mohamed have said, before these names will be vetted, or before these people will be given oppositions, if you're supposed to go home, just go home. If you are to go home, just go home. Don't let right now all the eyes are on the parliament, the members of parliament. So the big question is, after vetting these people, now the list that is coming, that list that is going to come next, hey, what is our expectation? The list that is going to come, what is our expectation? I don't know what to think. I also like to listen to your thought at the comment, to read your thought at the comment section. But I remind you, if for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can also like and share and drop me a comment and tell me where you're watching us from and how these videos are reaching you. And until we meet again in the next video, I'm your host, Boniface Owino.